What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. The Surface Pro is not complete without the keyboard cover. So here is my Surface Pro 7. I really like it. It does have some quirks, but I will tell you that without a keyboard, it just doesn't have quite the same responsiveness as a tablet as like an iPad does. It just clearly an iPad is made for it. And where I really notice it is that if you have a form that you're filling in, sometimes it'll recognize it as a fillable line or form and pop up the keyboard, and then for some reason it doesn't too. So that's where a keyboard like this is obviously going to turn this into a laptop replacement. And I wanted to go a little different here, and instead of getting the platinum one that I think would be a color match, which is just kind of standard gray, I got this. It's made from Alcantara, signature type cover. I don't really like the naming of it. And you can see fairly nice packaging. Little tab here, so that's how we open it. Alcantara is great. Got it in my Maserati. It's nice and soft. Feels like suede, but it's all synthetic. Man, it's tight. But then it allows you to pull it open just like that, and we'll take out the pad. Looks like we get a little paperwork, product guide, and then some really simple illustrations of how the sucker works. So I just want to give you a really close tour of this. This Alcantara is really pressed, like it's really smooth. It doesn't have the fuzz like suede does. I like this color. It's kind of a blue-green, but on the blue scale, kind of blue shift to it. We do have the trackpad down here. Obviously, I don't think it's glass, but I don't know. It kind of feels like it might be, but you can see it and feel it clicking, so that's kind of nice. One thing I've heard is that because it's not very tall, top to bottom, it doesn't give you a lot of real estate, and I can definitely see that. But side to side, it seems to be as big as like a MacBook. You can see how it kind of pinches down here. It's like the keyboard is inside, and then they put two sheets of Alcantara, which are pretty thin, and then fuse it along the edge here. So you kind of give that little sharp edge to it. Not uncomfortable. You're not going to cut yourself on it. Microsoft logo right there. This side is kind of that more of that, you know what? This might not even be Alcantara right there now that I'm looking at it, because this has that suede-like fuzzy feel on it. And you can see molded in bar right there, so you get a little bit of a hinge. And then this is the connector that looks like some centering tabs right there, and then those connectors, so it'll connect. I will tell you, this keyboard looks pretty nice. We've got all the standard Windows keys that you might expect, delete and backspace, which is kind of nice, directional arrow keys. Everything is slightly recessed here, so you won't have the keys right up against the glass, or it might be close, but at least they aren't the high spot. The keys are pretty comfortable, island style, chiclet style, and they seem to be full size as much as I can tell. So how does it attach? Should be pretty simple. Boom. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Then you can pull out the kickstand, following the directions on inside of that case there. And then this piece kind of folds up, and I think should be held in by magnets. And now what we get is a slight raised angle. So if I were to come over here, what up, and then start typing, seems to work fine. And if I close the thing up like this, ooh, you can just lift it up if it's already in kickstand mode. But if it's not, then you can flip it all the way over, and you can see it overlaps the edge just a little bit, provides a nice protection. You can even see here it goes over the edge, so you don't have to worry about the screen getting scratched up. That's pretty nice. And then if I go and I hit like brightness absolutely works. And volume, cool. So that's pretty awesome. And then I think if I unbuckle it like this, flatten the kickstand, this thing will swing all the way around. And now, oh my gosh, totally went into reorienting mode. But now if I hit these keys, I'm going to hit the brightness key here, see if it does anything. When it's folded back like that, I'm not sure how it knows, but it's kind of deactivated the keyboard. So that's kind of surprising to me, but seems to work. So it's kind of nice. And I don't have to put the keyboard anywhere and kind of rip it off. But if you do want to take it off and just use it as a tablet, boom, just like that. Simple as that. Look at that. I didn't even know it did that. That's pretty cool. Hey, I am liking the Surface Pro here, but this keyboard is going to make this thing way more interesting and way more practical and useful, and truly create a laptop replacement. So I don't think you can get a Surface Pro really, or there's really no point to getting it without this, because it's the full computer replacement that makes it possible. Now, this thing is never included, and it's about 160 bucks for this keyboard, but I think the 6 and the 7 are the same. I think if you get the Surface Pro X, it's a different keyboard. So I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.